half, and thought our guys hung in there. I mean, we haven't been able to make shots for a lot of games this year. It's nice somebody finally get going from three. Shaq really kind of got us going. That second half he had was huge. Makes everything a lot easier when shots are going in. So big game from Shaq. But I was really happy with a lot of guys. To be honest with you, I mean, you look at Quinterly's game. He had 9 assists, 1 turnover. To go with his 14 points. I thought he really did a pretty good job on defense in the second half too. We got beat on too many blow-bys, giving up threes in the first half, and he eliminated most of that in the second half. And so I was happy with our effort. I thought the one run that kind of opened it up, I think it went from 5 to 15. Alex Reese hit the three and then got the dunk right after. And I think it's really big credit to Alex Reese. His attitude's been unbelievably great all year. I mean, his minutes probably down a little bit from last year, but I think he's been huge for us. He's been what we're looking for out of seniors, and I think he's done a lot for us. So I was happy he got that run started for us there.
Thank you, Coach. We'll go ahead and take some questions. Let's start with Joey Blackwell.
Hey, Coach. I hate to use an age-old cliche, but it really was kind of a tale of two halves tonight. What was the emotion heading into the locker room? What was said in the locker room at halftime, and then coming out? Like, what changed the effort coming out of the locker room at halftime?
I mean, we basically went in and said the difference in the half was Monsanto's threes. I didn't, if we'd eliminated those threes and he ain't got the 4 threes off, it's a completely different game, and we're in total control of the game. So we talked about how he got his threes, and he challenged our guys not to give him anything easy. He ended up with 2 in the second half, but 1 came at the buzzer. So really there was only 1 through the course of the second half that hurt us. So we didn't want to overreact to stuff. We thought the rest of the game we had played all right, and we just said, let's keep doing it. Let's get him off the 3-point line and get our defensive end shored up a little bit better.
Next question will go to Cecil Hurt. Cecil, you there? All right, let's. There you go, Cecil.
There we go.
There you go.
Hey,
now we can hear you.
Good, great. You said before the game that the decision on John and James was an in-house decision. Can you elaborate on that in any way?
You know what? I'm going to leave it at that. It was a coach's decision that they wouldn't be in the building tonight. I fully anticipate both of them being back after Christmas for the first conference game, and I'm going to leave it at that.
All right, next question. Let's go to Tony Tsoukalas.
Nate, how have you seen Jordan Bruner kind of elevate his game over the last few games, and is he finally starting to kind of contribute the way that you thought he would when you brought him in?
Yeah, we're starting to see it. I mean, he led the Ivy League in rebounding, so we anticipated him being a really good rebounder for us, and I think part of the rebounding, he kind of had to figure out where shots were coming from in our offense, and he's a really analytical type of guy. If you know him, he probably overthinks a lot of things, but that's a positive and sometimes a negative. And I think he's gotten a lot more comfortable in the system. The pace is a lot different than what it was at Yale, so he's getting more comfortable with where he can find his spots. And he shoots the ball really well. To have him and Reese both, to have two, and Reese didn't shoot it particularly well tonight, but shooting our last game, I think our bigs shot a lot better than our perimeter players did. I think our bigs maybe were 7 of 12, and our guards were 4 of 19 last game. So, it was nice that, for him to be able to knock down a 3. And I think you saw his passing ability tonight. He had 4 assists, 0 turnovers. The team, in our loss to Western Kentucky, we were 7 assists to 19 turnovers. We flipped that around 20 to 12, and we only had 3 turnovers in the second half. So, between his passing, his shot-making ability, and his rebounding, he adds a lot to what we're doing. And his voice in the locker room has been good. I think him and Reese have both been really good that way for us this year.
Let's go to Michael Casagrande.
Yeah, obviously Shackelford busted out of his slump. But what do you think about Quinterly? How do you think he responded?
thought Quinterly was great. You know, we've been talking to him about getting the ball out of his hands sooner, you know, to try to get the ball moving a little bit quicker. I thought he did a better job of that tonight. You know, 9 assists to go to 1 turnover was really good. You know, and he's able to make shots. You know, we'd like for him to, you know, he didn't shoot it from 3 great. I thought he passed up a couple. You know, the one probably took from too deep, but he's a better shooter than that. Well, you know, if we can get everybody to start making shots like they're capable of, it'll be better. But, you know, he found guys tonight. He got the ball moving early. He was a much better point guard. You know, I kind of challenged him with the weapons we've got around you. We should be up in the upper echelon of the SEC and in assists. And that's what we're looking for is games like he had tonight. So happy with the way. And then on the defensive end, I thought he really dug in, got in a stance, you know, stayed in front. You know, we had problems staying in front of Sloan in the first half. I thought he did a much better job on Sloan in the second half.
We got time for a few more questions. Let's go start it with James Ludeman.
Hey, Coach. Just wanted to ask you how important this second half and even this game as a whole is with you guys getting ready to start SEC play. I know we don't want to look too far ahead, but how do you guys feel that your chances are here in the conference?
Yeah, I mean, we need to be making shots because, you know, our defense isn't strong enough to withstand how bad we were shooting the ball on offense. So we needed a half like this to realize what we're capable of doing, and the ball moved. You know, we needed a win bad going into Christmas, to be honest with you. I mean, we're giving the guys 3 days off. Most of the guys are able to go home. I think all but 3 are either going home or their families coming here, one of the two. And then one of our guys had a teammate that he's going to spend Christmas with, and I've got a couple guys coming over to my house for Christmas dinner. So, you know, we're trying to make sure everybody's got as good a Christmas as they can possibly have within the circumstances. But I'll tell you, getting a win going into Christmas helps all that a whole lot better. Just, you know, everybody's got a better feeling about it, and I think gives us a little bit more confidence going into SEC play. You know, Ole Miss is a good team, and they've got really good players. I do think if you look at the schedule we played versus what some other teams in the SEC have played, I think we played a little bit tougher teams. Hopefully we're a little bit more ready for that caliber of play, and hopefully it pays off come, you know, the end of December here, January, moving into SEC play.
All right, last question will go to Steve Bolton.
Coach, congratulations on the win. And you mentioned heading into SEC play. What is the biggest question you have on your team heading into SEC play, Coach?
You know what? I think it's a consistency deal. Can we be consistent in our effort every night? Can we, you know, if you look at tonight, 21-2 on second chance points. Well, it's kind of been every other deal. It's 15-0 against Clemson, then we bounced back against Furman. It's 24-3. Then it was the wrong way against Western Kentucky, and now, you know, so you can kind of see what the effort's been like on the board. It's every other game. If you're going to win games in the SEC, it's got to be every night. So we got to get a more consistent effort in all aspects of the game. We also have to move the ball in the offensive end. When the ball moves, shooters end up more open. We get better shooting percentages and makes the game a lot easier on offense. So those are the biggest things that I'm looking for going into SEC play. I do think we've got enough ability to be in every game. I think our talent level's improved for how we want to play, and I think we got a chance to have a better year, but we're going to have to get a little bit more consistency and, you know, keep the ball moving on offense.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, have a Merry Christmas.